Hello, my name is Tactical System, and I'm going to talk about and show you how to play EverQuest. I wasn't able to play the way everyone else was. I wasn't able to join high-end raiding guilds. I only saw screenshots of the gods and stuff like that. Well, there's good news for people like us. You can play it again and actually experience the stuff you never got to experience before. An example of this is I got to kill Inarok, the god of hate. When I used to play, I was never able to get there. It took a guild to get there, it was hard, I didn't have time. But now there's a EverQuest emulator that's available. It's called the EverQuest A Hero's Journey. And basically you are a solo player, right? So EverQuest is known for its, you have to group with people, and you have to communicate and have a role to fill. Well, this one breaks all of that. So it's good news and bad news. Good news is you get to experience it all, but it ruins all the other EverQuest from now on. Like, I can't go back to a TLP server, time lock progression, which Darkpaw issues, which you also have to pay for, and do EverQuest again after. I mean, once you played as a god, you're not going to want to play as a peasant again. The thing I'm going to show you is where to go to fire this thing up and get to play EverQuest for free, and to play it the way you've always wanted to play and experience all the things you've wanted to do. I'll show you how to get super fast leveling in AA so you can get to experience all this stuff. I'll also take you through some of the stuff that's confusing as hell, like the bazaar, and how to sell things, whether or not you should sell something or put it on the bazaar. A quick way to figure that out. So I'm going to show you how to make fast levels, fast AA, and fast money as a noob, and then get to experience all the cool shit. You what, mate? The first part, when I said I was going to help you install it and blah blah blah, that's untrue. Someone else has done it so much better than I have, so I'm going to direct you towards them. It's Broken Stoic. So hit on YouTube. Once you're in YouTube, type in EverQuest The Hero's Journey THJ install. You can see I've already done this ahead of time. Hopefully this is the first one that pops up. This is The Hero's Journey by Broken Stoic. Click on that. Fantastic resource. Step-by-step guide, pictures, video, everything. Also in the description he has the links that you need to copy paste and stuff like that. It's not too difficult if you just pause it and follow him as you pause, follow, and you'll get it easy. You should have the Hero's Journey icon. Click on that. Let it patch, because it won't let you play until you patch. So play. But the very first time I started this, I got this far, I put all this information in, and then you click the Hero's Journey top one up here. I'd press this and it would go to a black screen. The way to solve that is hit this button up here. We're in character select. I'll create a new character. I want a barbarian bard. The problem is, if I click on here and barbarian, bard is not an option. So the way you can become a bard is you get to select 3 classes, and you can be all 3 of them. All their spells, all their abilities. The one that has the best armor you can wear. So if you're a warrior, you can be plated, and the other 2 classes can be cloth, but you still wear plate. So you can make some really good synergy, or you can make some crap. It's totally up to you. For this, what I want to do is one of your builds has to be a bard. The other 2 are somewhat irrelevant, but I'm going to do bard, enchanter, and cleric. And the reason why I say bard is because that's where you're going to get your AoE swarm kite farming, and to the point where then you don't even need to kite at all because you just got so much AA. But we'll get there, and that's going to let you burn through the game and see all the content and visit all the places you couldn't go because you were too scared, because when you died you'd lose all your EXP. Bard is not an option for a barbarian. I'm going to create randomly warrior. This guy looks terrible. Random name it. Testy. See how that works. Okay. When you first log in, your UI or user interface is going to look like butthole. Deal with that in your own way. And also there's going to be a book on your cursor here. I don't know if you can see that. You hit I, put your book in there, and save that for later. That's going to be part of a quest that's kind of important as a brand new player. You can eventually just close everything. Don't show the tip again for me. So I actually can get a UI that I've used before, so I'm kind of cheating here. You will have to figure out what's useful to you and what's not useful, and get rid of that. This is my cleaner UI. For the map, you can take off labels because you can't read, you can't see what's going on there. The only keys you really need to know is I for inventory, right? Here is where you get your alternate advancement. There's hotkeys for all this stuff, but I just hit I in this button. From there, go to special tab right here, and you'll see Bazaar and back. There's a hotkey, put it somewhere in your bar. So I'm logged in as a warrior, but I don't want to be a warrior. I want to be a bard. So the first thing you gotta do is go ahead and press this button for Bazaar and back. And you go to the Bazaar. What's the Bazaar? It's like the auction house. You randomly zone in different places and once you're here. Sometimes, let me show you the map. Sometimes you'll zone in to the top of the bazaar, other times to the bottom, sometimes in the middle. But right now I'm like right in the middle. But a lot of times it'll send you up here somewhere. So just open up the map, you know where to go. Here is all the vendors for changing your class or adding a new class. Here and here. Here's the two classes. Down here is a bank, there's a bank, and in the middle is all your vendors for buying regents and bags and stuff like that. I don't want to be a warrior. I want to be a bard. Well, first you got to select your other two classes. So I'm going to select bard. Talk to the bard master. Hail him. Press H. Hail. You select to become a bard down here. You just go through the text. I'm committed to the path of the bard. Welcome to the bard class. So now I'm a bard. Right here. I'm a warrior and a bard. I also want to be a cleric. Talk to the cleric master here. Hail. Yes, the path of the cleric. And now I'm also a cleric. So I have 3 classes already. Warrior, cleric, bard. I don't want to be a warrior, so I'm going to go get rid of that to make space for an enchanter. The way you do that is you go and find this person right here, one with the wings making noises. She's over here if you look at my map. Hail, forge your path. I would like to get rid of warrior. I click on warrior. Would you like to proceed? Yes. You are no longer a warrior. Check here. Yep, I'm only 2. So now I've got room to become the 3rd. Go be an enchanter. Path of the enchanter. Yes. And you see all these AA abilities pop up depending on what you select. So now I've got a lot more AAs. Hit I, alternate, advancement, AA, hit general, hit max. And then find anything that's not a 0 at the beginning. You scan through it and you click on it if it's not a 0, and if it doesn't have a hotkey available, then it means it's a passive, so don't worry about it. You just see what you get for hotkeys here. Okay, no hotkey. No hotkeys yet. Oh, here we go. There's a hotkey. Summon companion. Okay, so if I'm going to have a pet, then I can summon him. So I'll click the hotkey, put it over here somewhere. I don't have a use for it. I'm not going to have a pet. Balances the health. Nope, don't care. Ability increases the crit chance. So it's a passive. Hotkey. Dancing of Blades. Okay, it's a defensive. Dancing of Blades. I already have it here. So let me show you that. So you take the hotkey, you add it in there, and notice how like these are all the previous ones I've created because I changed my UI to another character. So all this stuff technically shouldn't have been here. But Dances with Blades, I've just added that in. You hold down the right mouse button until this menu appears, assign an icon. If you notice, you've got blue, red, and green. It makes it easier for all these abilities you eventually get. Your defensive, just make them a blue shield. For your Fury of Jesus, have red. You know, if you just need to God mode it, and then green I put as heals. So you don't have to know what each one does. You just, oh, I need defense. Blue, blue, blue. Oh, I'm starting to die. Green. Oh, this thing needs to die right now. Red, red, red. Yeah, all right, we're good there. Now we've got 3 classes. So now you need to make a little bit of money because you have 0 money. Look where I am on the map. I'm coming down south, all the way down here. There's your bank right there. And then at the other bank across the way, see this? There's an invisible guy. It's so hard to see. A fading memory right here. You can see he's got glowing bracelets. It says first quest above its head. And it wants you to take this book and give it to it. And you get a backpack. You equip all the crap it wants to give you. Just got to figure out what's the best stuff to put in here. It's just 2-hander damage. You scroll down, it'll tell you the damage 3.2, 3.4. And you look at what you would have just been issued. Scroll down, look at the 2 point something, the bat, 2 point something. And I think these combined, I'm just going to say yes. I'm going to dual wield 2 legendaries instead of just 1. Try to sell that other one. And here is where you get bags. So I will try to sell what I can, what this guy gave me. I can sell that. Or Shift B is how you open up your bags. Mem the spell. Destroy the stuff that you just can't sell. Go kill stuff. So you hit the same bazaar portal to go back. This button takes you to the bazaar, and then wherever you had pressed it to get to the bazaar, when you press it, you'll end up back where you were in the exact same part. I'm at the Warrior Guild in Hollis. I don't need to be there anymore because I'm not a warrior. Fire up a song. Hey. Oh, this right here? This is Waypoint. In the bazaar, there's a person you talk to or a map. You click on a floating map and it'll give you a list of places you can go. And whenever you discover one of these, it adds that to that list. If you Google EverQuest THJ, the hero's journey, waypoints, a list of where the waypoints are, and it'll show you a map of where they are in that zone. So you just travel to those zones whenever you're of age and activate them. That way, when you make an alt character, it could go to all those places, because on this account I have higher level 4. Your purposes, I'm not helping myself with any of that stuff, because I could just give myself some gold and silk plat and go ham and just one-shot everything. But you have to do it the hard way at the beginning. So here we go. Woo! Okay, now that we're level 5, we're going to go ahead and get out of here and Bazaar Portal. Quest giver at the very beginning, the first quest guy, what you need to do is to get to level 5, Alt Q is your quest, equip the simple ring. Okay, well I guess I should have done that to begin with. Equip a simple ring and your hero power source. Done. So at the beginning, you should have equipped your ring, put it in here, and then got to level 5. That's a mistake. Never not have anything in this slot right here. That is levels up items and gear. Once this gets to legendary, that means it's done. Then you can either sell it or equip it or do whatever you want, but then grab another piece of equipment and put it in there. Never not have anything in there, because it's really valuable turning some mediocre gear into fantastic great gear. I'm just going to hold shift whenever I'm selling stuff, because I don't want to have to click confirm on extra. If it's not legendary, it's not really worth keeping. I mean, that won't sell on the bazaar at all for anything. Here, this spider silk is 1 silver. Now if I want to know if people on the bazaar want this stuff, then I'll type \BAZAAR bazaar. Best part of this is Control Shift click it, it'll automatically fill in the name and show you what's going on here. Sells for 24 plat. Yeah, I'm gonna sell that to the bazaar. So I'm going to keep that one. Goblin necklace, you look at that, saves nothing. Bone chips. People buy bone chips? Yeah, people buy bone chips. I always sort this by at least to most cost, otherwise you'll end up buying something you could have gotten cheaper. Once you open up the bank, then you can do exchange, hold shift, shift, shift. So 13 plat is what we got to work with. Now, let's buy bags. This is a bag vendor. Right click, you would like Deluxe Toolbox, Giant and 10. You could also get away with just doing a backpack, 8 and large, but 10's better than 8. You don't have to worry about the weight. The weight thing, your character eventually gets so much gear that weight's never an issue. We still have 8 plat to work with. Go to Bazaar, go by slot. Just go alphabetically, arms. Let's see what you get. 5 plat, okay, buy it, buy. You still got 3 plat left, but I don't think you're going to get much after that. Head over to the parcel guy, which is in the bank. Follow my map over here. You see where I'm going over here. This is the bank. There's parcel guy is right here. Hit parcels, retrieve, press I. There it is. And arms. That greatly increased our stats. And you'll just rinse and repeat. Buy a trader bag. Trader satchel right here for 1 plat. Go find a stand right here to stand in. Put the stuff you want to sell in the trader's satchel. These 3 items is what I want to sell. Okay, type in both trader, \TRADER, and bazaar, \BAZAAR, bazaar. Now that you have both of these open, now if I try to hit begin trader, I can't. It says you guys price them. Okay, so you click on the bones. Now whilst you're clicking on the bones, you hit Control Shift, and it'll pop up in here and sort by price. The lowest price is 7 gold. Okay, well I'm going to sell for 6 gold and 9 silver. Undercut. Always undercut. Spider silk, 24. I'm gonna sell for 23. Set price. Now that those are set, begin trader. What I can do now is simply downsize and go to bed. Then when you wake up in the morning, hopefully you've got some sales and you've got lots of plat that you'll have, and then you can go buy even more items. But if you're not ready to do that just yet, go to the bank, take that bag and put it in your bank. That cannot leave here. You should bind here. That way when you die, you end up right here. There is a soul binder right here. If you look at the map, see where I'm at. Hail, bind my soul. This fireplace right here takes you to East Commonlands. There we go. And then here you've got a bunch of other stuff. Here's your parcel guy, banks, all that other stuff. This guy has the map that you can go anywhere with, but it's also in the bazaar. See, you can pick Antonica. And Blackborough's unlocked, so I can go there, go back to the bazaar. This guy right here with the map, you just simply click on this map, and you can also go to all these other places. I have some that I haven't unlocked yet, you can tell. You have a quest in order to get to the next expansions. When you press on this, Antonica is about the only thing you're going to get, and it's all going to be blank, except for now for Blackborough. In order to unlock Cunark, Velenus, Luglin, and Plains of Power, you have to do quests for that, and they are right here. To unlock and to be able to get to Cunark, talk to this guy, and he'll give you a list of things you have to kill. You can also Google this stuff. You kill those things. Those are the ones in those are ones in Norath. They're the old bosses, like Inuruk, stuff like that, in order to get to Cunark. Once you're there, then in order to get to Velenus, you have to kill the gods of Cunark, which is Trachanon and stuff like that. And then in order to go further than here, now you want to go to Luglin. They're above, look above, right here. They're up here. And here, and talk to him. He'll tell you who you got to kill in order to get to Luglin, and then in order to get to Plains of Power, he'll tell you what gods you have to kill from Luglin. The hero's journey is solo. You can kill all this stuff solo. You don't need a group or anything like that. As long as you're a 3-class makeup, it's complementary of each other. A good one is called the pet class, and that's the Berserker, Necro, and Mage. That can solo any god. So if you want to get through it easy and want to see all the content, see everything there is to see, then that's probably the class is best suited for that. But other ones are great too. This one's good. This one, once you get the Bard up and you get to level 42, there's an AoE song that he does that will just explode everything. Once you get that spell, stop your XP and then just go AA only, and you can just obliterate everything and get like 400 AA in one day. And that will set you up with all of your defensive abilities, all of your extra AoE crit and AoE damage and AoE radius. Plus, as an enchanter part of this, you get something called Doppelganger, where you duplicate yourself 3 times, and those 3 do the same damage as what you're doing, so you just tear. And to show you that, I'm going to show you what happened. Let's go. This is the same makeup. It's a Bard, Cleric, Enchanter. One of the key things here is in Bazaar, search the word pack, and you get these glowing backpacks. 200, they are actually, oddly enough, they are temporary. They say they're temporary. And what happens is if you have nothing in them, they disappear when you log off. But if you put something inside one of them and log off, what you end up with is this. It weighs a bit, but again, weight's not a big deal in this expansion. Its capacity is 20 and giant. You get the same thing, but it's massive bag. Just weighs a little bit, but it's giant and 20, and it only costs 200. Just make sure you put an item in, like a piece of trash, before you log off, so it stays and turns into that. So now we're just going to do a quick farm. Let me show you my AA that I've got so far. I've got 6. Let me find a place to spend that real quick. So now I've got 0 AA. Luglin, Humble Plains. So I'm doing this as a 55. When this happens a lot. Just close it out. And just simply click on it again right away. Bit annoying, but it takes an extra 10 seconds of your time. And then you also find that yes, it crashed, but yes, it also did put you in the zone you were zoning into. Oh, I'm in Humble Plains. I don't want to be here. I want to be over in the next one. It's Maiden's Eye. Now I can AoE Umble Plains, but I'm just going to show you what you should be doing at like 50 instead of me 55, where this stuff would be yellows and whites. Once you've got the AA, this is way overkill. You only need like 1 or 2 of these. Doppelganger is about the only one you need there. So maybe 2 of these and Doppelganger. And the key here is to have Denon's Desperate Dirge. That's the only spell you need, really. Target yourself for a rune. Again, rune's not that important. It, you know, poofs pretty fast, but as you're pulling, why not? My goal here is to grab everything, and whilst I'm pulling, I can... Oh, it's stunned right away. I can get my bard songs going. From the shadows, here to destroy the frames of my PC. Anyway, so when you were doing this, first of all, you'd actually be running circles, tight circles around, pressing Desperate Dirge before you start that. So running tight circles. I can kind of see them at this corner of my screen here. I'm just looking at the map too. So they look like a decent sized ball. Before I start pressing this button, I'm going to put on some shields. Shield. You can put on whatever shield you don't have to do all the stuff I'm doing. And then press the button, which here it goes. Ready? Why is that not? Okay. Oh, crap. There we go. Press it. Keep pressing it. Okay. And that's that. That was a lot of XP. Hey, found an echo of memory. Nice. That's a lot of the zone dead. And if you look, I got for the AA, that was 17 AA. So I should be killing the yellows in the next zone. Shift click everything. Alright, that's too much to loot. I'm done. I'm going to show you what items you need to be able to do that. So in order to do that AoE I just did, there's some key items you have to get from the auction house. The main one is this. It is the Song Blade. Control, Shift, click. Alright, so 1500? I mean, I just got more than that from just killing that stuff. But 1500 is not hard to get at this level. So that's an important one, because that has 500% singing skill, which this AoE right here is a singing skill at level 43. Again, at 43, when you get it, you should stop EXPing and just go alternate advancements. So you click on here, boost it all the way to 100%, because if it's all the way down here, 100%, now all my kills are going towards XP, and then I'll level up. The lower levels at level 43 stuff is hardly any HP, super easy. So you need that weapon, find gear with spell damage on it. Because without this weapon and without spell damage gear, you probably will spend all of your mana and maybe kill something. But you may probably run out of mana before you get to kill anything, especially in AoE stuff. Because this is 800 mana. So if you notice, all my stuff has spell damage. I mean, I'm not even epic, right? I'm not even legendary for the most part. Yeah, so spell power, spell damage. Just looking for stacks and spell damage and that weapon and that spell, and then you can do what I just did and farm, and it's quite fun too. And obviously the way to do that is you just simply go down the list here. You go for any, so you start with each slot, you go to arms, start with the lowest cost, you just right click. Some of these, when they level up, get spell power. You can usually get like spell power items for a couple hundred. Spell damage right there. This for 23 plat, right? And as you level up, you're probably going to end up getting it at legendary for even more. So 23 plat, there's your back. So what else we got? Charm. I don't know if there's going to be anything spell power for charm. What do I have? Spell power charm. The wooden figurine. See these wooden figurines down here, right here, 3000. Right now when you click on it, it doesn't show shit, right? This wooden figurine levels up if you've been to the planes of power. So once you're in the planes of power and you start doing like the plane of innovation and plane of nightmare and stuff like that, it'll eventually keep leveling up and it gets to this, and I can go even higher. I haven't unlocked everything yet, so this can go higher. Look at the AC and HP if you're not, after you can't find spell power. You can tell if it's like a level 65 item from Planes of Power or not, and that was what makes the difference. Like this one, you know, that's great stats. But in this case, that's 145, so you would just get that instead. And then let's just do one more ear, right? And you can keep going down the list here, but you can find spell damage right there. 68 platinum spell damage. And you can just get 2 of those. Glowing ambers, yeah, look at that. 40 plat for 10 extra spell damage and increases the range of spells. So you just go in there, look for spell damage and stack up, get the cheapest you can. This weapon, Songblade, and cheap spell damage items, and just go AoE farm. Another like little weird tip is that this is a big mess, right? And if you're gonna go back and AoE farm the same place again and then again and then again, what you should do is probably take everything that stacks and just move it off to the side, let all of that sit in one area, and don't sell it. After I move all the stuff that stacks over here and just sell the standalone, I'll go farm again. That way I don't have to keep rearranging my bags, hunting, looking for things that I should sell and not sell. I know that everything is stacking in these bags over here. Eventually I can just completely liquidate and not even have to worry about it. Now if there are some items in here, to reiterate, that I'm not sure if I should vendor it or set a bazaar. Obviously if it's not legendary, I'm not going to do it. And also another rule of thumb is if you're looking at this stuff and this stuff isn't over like 200 HP, don't bother selling it. Is necklace worth anything? Let's find out. Is anyone selling that? Yeah, they're selling it for 49 plat. Now is it worth it to fill your bag with that? Now if you've got a whole bunch of space on the in your trading bags, then yeah, why not? It can't hurt, right? Because what's the vendor wants to give you 4 platinum when you can probably get 48 platinum for it? Maybe. You might as well throw it in your bags. But if you're starting to get short on your bazaar bags, then just sell it. To me, it's not worth it. My current bazaar guy has bags that are full. And after I realize a whole bunch of stuff that's in there that hasn't sold in a while, I'll just go to this guy and just sell it all to a general supply guy and just get whatever plat that way. And then restart over again. Hopefully this stuff was helpful. This game is AA, you know, right? I mean, like your regular levels and regular spells and stuff, sure, why not? But getting AA is what makes you king. That's where the real magic happens, and that's where you get the greatest abilities. Side note, when it comes to spells, because when you get to level 50, you have to go through and get all these flagged, I guess, for the different expansions, and you won't get to go to Planes of Power right away. Planes of Power, it has the Plane of Knowledge library where you can go and buy all the higher level spells. You might reach these levels, but you still don't have access to Planes of Power. Unfortunately, you have to rely on people selling those spells on the bazaar. They're not terribly high markup because there's enough people doing it, they've all bid themselves down, but that's where you would get them if you can't get them from Plane of Knowledge right away. I didn't want to get too crazy on this video here. I just wanted to show the basics on where to start, what to look for, how you want to build your character, what you want them to look like, and stuff like that is completely up to you. But again, this is how you're going to experience the game and really enjoy it. See the things that you couldn't see before in a solo capacity, at your own pace, no one to rely on you and you to rely on no one else. And the greatest thing about this too is that there's no real death penalty. You don't lose your levels by dying. In fact, you lose nothing. You die and then all your clothes is back on, and all your buffs still. This game doesn't erase your buffs, doesn't erase your XP. I have a lot of fun in it. The only way that this could ever be beaten is when we get virtual reality and AI controlling all the vendors and all the mobs and everything else. You get to have your own immersive world. And I'll see you there when that happens. With this guy, I would have to continue, you know, just regular farming, probably go back to Black Burrow. Try to prioritize using my money on spells that I would use. So for Bard, right here, to click on level, you would just go through and see what they do. That's run speed, which in this server, this is always on. There's someone always buying buffs for everyone. This is 300 hours on it. You technically don't need to spend money on that. So I don't. I'm only looking for DPS, really. Encourages groups to say faster wounds. Yeah, that was actually okay. I might as well do that. Combine out in 7 symbol. What's up, kid? What's up? You alright? Oh no, you're okay. You're okay. I'm gonna let you in a little secret. The reason why I am doing this right here, and I am talking, is because I'm trying to learn how to make YouTube videos. And I'm trying to learn them.
Is that for my birthday?
That I'm going to let you make a YouTube video and I'm going to learn how to edit it. And you can have your dream.
These about Roblox or Minecraft?
Yes, it can be about Roblox and Minecraft.
Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox, not Robux. Well, hopefully you make Robux. Alright, kid. Alright. So where were we? Attack speed and armor class. I want to increase armor class, so I'm going to get that one. This is up to level 7 already. So I'll probably buy up to like level 10, because you level so fast. Doing this, coming back every level would be insane. So anything that provides healing or protection or DPS, but this other stuff that's, you know, calms aggressive nature of creatures, you'll get higher level versions of that later on. You do not need that stuff at lower level. Now to level 10 bard spells, then I need to go over to the cleric and do the same thing. Yelp I can use right now. That's beneficial, and let me show you what I'm talking about. In this server, even though this is actually a temporary spell, right? So when you click it, it's supposed to last for 24 seconds. That's it. Just a power boost for 24 seconds. Luckily, this server, as long as your spell gem is here, locked in here, if I get rid of it, it'll disappear. But you use it, it pops up here, it says 24 seconds, it'll count down, but then it'll reset and keep popping back up where you don't have to keep pressing it because it's on your spell list here. Now if I got rid of it, it would disappear and not come back. So when you have spells that you have to click and they only last for a few seconds, leave it on here. You got it permanently. It's great. I don't have time to go through it with this character, but you're going to get to the point where you're going to get the enchanter color flux thing where you stun, and the cleric's AoE nuke, then the bard AoE damage zone. You get to the point where you'll go from Black Burrow to Permafrost. You just gather them all up and then do your enchanter stun, cleric AoE, bard melee them down, and then you'll get to the point where you do upper gook and then lower gook, and then from there you should start to hit your level 43 where you can get that dirge spell, and then from there it's all. You're stacking your spell damage, you've got your sword, you've got that spell, go rock. I hope that was helpful, and hopefully you get to play the game you want to play. Till next time, thanks for being here this long, man. Hopefully I help. And if you want to add some extra tips and tricks to the comments, then I will read them and probably make another one. I'm very new to this, kind of enjoy it. I'm sorry to all the pros out there where I've noobed the hell out of this, but from noob to noobs, hopefully it works. Have a good one.